On a policy level, one of the things I advocated as a candidate is a non-discriminatory agreement to protect LGBTQ members of Wichita, and also veterans and also active military, because we're seeing discrimination against these groups when it comes to employment and when it comes to housing. So in doing that, we can do some stuff on a policy level, but also we need to work on our image to make sure that when people have options, when they can move to get a job in Wichita and Denver, in Des Moines, in Tulsa, that they can choose Wichita and they will know that they are valued and they belong here.
So we had been hit harder during the recession than most cities, and that's where those numbers are coming from. But if you just look at our numbers over the last 3 to 4 years, they've improved dramatically. So we started a program 4 years ago. We had a program called Youth Employment Project, had 100 students, high school age in it. This year, we're going to train and provide internships for over 1,000 students. So in 4 years, we've moved it from 100 to 1,000. So we have a pretty aggressive plan to increase our talent pool of people through a variety of ways, but at the end of the day, it still comes back to we have to focus on quality of life and give people a reason to be here. It comes back to making sure that we have the right talent pool available for our companies, for all companies. And so we have some programs that are doing that include some scholarships that enable people, and sometimes communities that are poverty-stricken communities that we target and say, you're eligible for a scholarship, we will educate you and we'll provide you an opportunity with a great paying job. So we've done that over the last 4 years, been pretty successful at helping people get a hand up. Talent's everything. Recruiting.
When I talk to startups, when I talk to people who are trying to get a company into the gig economy, they talk about BIOS. They talk about high-speed internet. So when we talk about infrastructure, we shouldn't just be talking about roads and sidewalks. We should be also talking about technological infrastructure that is going to make sure that Wichita's current economy, such as the aviation economy, such as the healthcare economy, which is more and more dependent on the cloud, but also nurturing these startups. These technological-based startups, and saying that we know we have the smart people here, but we're also going to have the infrastructure to nurture those ideas and let you grow here in Wichita. Quality of life, to some people, it's making sure that we are giving our public safety departments, the police, the fire department, the necessary resources that they need to be successful, which right now we're not doing enough for. For others, it's getting out there and going to parks in the neighborhood, making sure that our neighborhood community centers, our pools, even our golf courses are not on the chopping block.
So here's what I tell people until I'm blue in the face. Quality of life must be painted with a very broad brush. Because if you look at me and oftentimes my generation, quality of life can be as simple as making sure that people have a safe place to walk and ride a bike. For others, it's having a perfect venue to go see music theater. For some, it's going to be the ballpark. The reality is we have to paint quality of life with a very broad brush, and no one sector of our society should be able to define what quality of life looks like, nor should the mayor define what quality of life looks like.
We should be looking inward to Wichita, asking citizens what quality of life means to them, and then taking that feedback and having a bottom-up approach to not only our budget, but also to public policy to make sure that what we do to further quality of life here in Wichita is accepted by the community so they'll be more effective.
We know we're missing out on conventions because of really poorly designed convention space that doesn't meet today's convention goers, and we know we're missing out on revenue streams because of that, and so we need to take all of that into account. But I still think there's an opportunity to repurpose Century 2. So we can build bold, new performing arts space that looks awesome. We can build great new convention space that meets our needs. And I think there's a way to repurpose Century 2 that can tie it into a millennial style park that gives people indoor-outdoor space that would be great space to mix in. And I'm hoping at some point in time someone can come up with that bold vision that allows all of that to happen.
So we should be developing our river. I think that there is a lot of opportunity to do so, and other cities have had success with this. However, we need to do this in partnership with the community. One of the things that I'm running for mayor is feedback that there is a resistance to particular changes that have been presented by City Hall. We need to get out of the backroom deals with investors and with developers who say, this is the plan. And right now, I think the culture is to talk to those people over our boss. And our boss is the taxpayer. And we need to get out and talk to them and say, these are some of the ideas. What is your idea? What do you think?